Not a Good Death, Agent of Dart series, Book 2, written by Naomi, Bellina, read by Itsy, Bitsy, Book Bits. The crime, Friday night, Naked, Missouri. The stench of trash tightened the knot of fear in Chloe's gut, threatening to turn her dinner into vomit. She peeked around the side of the restaurant dumpster. The dim lights in the alley illuminated her friend Brianna facing a man in a hoodie and a ski mask. "I'll have the money by next Friday, I swear." Brianna tilted her head up to the man. "Geez, calm down, would ya?" The man had just finished yelling at Bree, calling her a lying bitch, waving his arms around. Not calm at all. Bree picked at a spot on her face, a thing she did when she was nervous. Crazy girl should be nervous, should be good and scared. Chloe shrank back into the shadows, breathing into her hands, trying not to gag. Stupid Bree, dragging her into this. Just a quick meeting with a guy, Bree said, to pick up something. Chloe had a good idea the something was drugs and didn't want to have anything to do with that crap. But she didn't want Brianna to think she was a wimp. Bree was one of the popular kids in the high school with her own Street Fighter cosplay squad. Chloe was homeschooled, but she knew about them from around town and desperately wanted to join. A month ago, Bree had bought an ice cream cone from the shop where Chloe worked and told her they were practicing later that night. Did she want to watch? Chloe said sure, and Bree smirked, asked her if she even knew what cosplay was. Chloe did. It was this kick-ass kind of Brazilian martial arts that had dancing stuff too. Very slick. Elena from Street Fighter was who they cosplayed, one of the most savage Street Fighter characters, and she used capoeira. Chloe watched Bree and her group and about died when Bree asked if she wanted to join them. Wanted to be her new star student. Shit, yeah. So Chloe hung out, learned some moves, and made some new friends. When Bree asked her to come along on this trip, Chloe said she'd go, knowing it'd be trouble. You didn't meet a guy in an alley at night for anything that wasn't trouble. Deep down, Chloe knew Bree was involved with drugs. Too many people coming up to her for quick conversations or no conversation and an exchange between hands. And Bree had a lot of spending money for a high school girl from a middle-class family. That's not the way this works, the man's voice, still pissed. Chloe peered around the dumpster again and saw the man shove Bree's shoulder. "Stop scratching your face and look at me when I talk to you." "I'll get the money, I will." Her voice wobbled the faintest bit. "Where is it? You should have the money. This is how it works when you're one of my delivery girls. I give you the drugs, you sell them, and you turn the cash over to me and get your cut. Simple." "I didn't sell that much this weekend. Not many people at the club, and I had to do this thing with my family and—" The man slapped Brianna's face, the sound ringing like a gunshot. "Enough bullshit. I don't want to hear your excuses. You're a liar and a thief and need to be punished." "You hurt me, and my dad's going to ask questions." Brianna put her hand to her cheek and backed away from the guy. "If he sees a bruise, he'll harass me till I tell him where it came from. You don't want my dad messing with you." Chloe clenched his fists. Chloe clenched her fists. "Don't argue with a pissed-off drug dealer, you idiot." "Oh, there won't be any marks when I'm done with you." The man reached one hand to his pocket. "And don't threaten me. I'm not afraid of your dad." "Why so mad? I'll sell the rest this weekend and get your money. It's not like you're broke or anything." "You dumbass, quit smarting off." Did the guy have a gun in his pocket? Didn't Bree see his hand moving there? Chloe almost stepped forward but stopped. What could she do? Maybe distract the jerk? Get him to leave if he knew there were two of them? Call the cops at least. She patted her jeans. Damn, phone was in the car. "My income status is none of your concern. I'm mad because I believe you're fucking with me, Brianna. I believe you made money and you've already spent it instead of giving it to me like you're supposed to." "No, that's not it. I sold a little, yeah, but I had to put gas in my car. Gotta get around, you know." "No, I don't know. You need to be taught a lesson about lying to your employer. You know why they call me Sting?" Because you look like that singer dude?" The guy didn't, from what Chloe could see. He was way huskier, maybe fat. Hard to tell with that jacket on and his face covered. She should yell or something, anything, before he hit Bree again. "They call me Sting because I use this on people who lie to me." Sting whipped his hand from his pocket and shoved it towards Brianna, touching her on the arm. Brianna yelled and stumbled backward. "What the hell, man? You shocked me." "I did indeed. Now you want to hand over the money you owe me?" "I told you, I only made a little and I spent it. Quick as a cobra striking, the man touched Brianna again. "You motherfucker!" Brianna fell to the ground. "Get the fuck away from me!" "I will when you give me my money." Chloe edged over to the restaurant door and rattled the knob. Locked. Another scream from Bree. "Stop whining. You're not going to die." Why didn't anybody hear? Because no one was around. The restaurant and all the shops in the strip mall were long closed. Chloe frantically scanned the alley for a weapon. Nothing but cardboard boxes and 2 plastic gallon jugs. She picked one up. It had liquid inside. That would give it weight. Using every ounce of terrified energy, Chloe threw it, then ducked behind the side of the dumpster. Peering around the container, she saw the man turn in the direction of the noise and take several steps away from Brianna. "Who's there?" he called out. "Go look." "Must be rats." The man turned back to Brianna, who still lay on the ground, half up on her forearms. "Get up, Bree, fight!" She could. She did that martial arts well, but if the guy was using some kind of stun gun, her muscles were probably mush. "How about I chop off one of your thieving hands and feed it to the rats?" "No, please," Brianna choked out on a sob. "Stop hurting me. I'll get your money. Swear to God, tomorrow. I'll have it tomorrow." "Damn right you will. And you try to screw me over again, and I won't be so nice next time." He nudged her leg with his foot and then turned around and started to walk. Chloe let out a shaky breath and plastered her back on the dumpster. Thank God. He was done torturing Bree. As soon as he left, she'd grab her friend and they'd get the hell out of the way. "You're a spineless dick, you know that?" Chloe closed her eyes. No, that could not be Brianna running her mouth. She could not possibly be that stupid. "You think you're a hot shit because you got a cattle prod, but you're not so tough when you don't use it, you big fucking coward." Chloe watched the man slowly walk back to Brianna, the air around them feeling like it dropped 10 degrees. "You, young lady, are not only a thief and a liar, but you're an idiot." This time when he zapped Brianna, he didn't stop for what seemed like an hour. Tears rolled down Chloe's cheeks as her friend screamed, "Where were the cops? Anyone? Didn't anyone hear the noise?" Which suddenly stopped. Risking another look, Chloe angled her head around the container. "Hey," the man nudged Brianna with his toe. "You playing possum?" He leaned down, pressed the prod on her again, and fired it. Brianna didn't move. The man grunted, folded his weapon, and returned it to his pocket. He kicked Brianna, but she still didn't move. Picking her up, he headed toward the dumpster. Chloe scurried behind the bin, ducked down, and flattened against the building. "Please don't let him see me." "Stupid cunt," the man said. "You're nothing but trash." The container thudded, and Chloe curled up tighter, fighting to keep her ragged breathing quiet. She listened to the man's footsteps, and when the sound faded completely, she crawled to the edge of her hiding place and looked. The man was gone. Arms shaking, Chloe pulled herself up and into the dumpster. Brianna lay face down on top of a pile of trash bags, and when Chloe rolled her over, she stared into eyes that didn't look back. Chloe touched Brianna's neck. Nothing. She picked up her wrist and felt there. Still nothing. The stench of pissy diapers hit her nose. No stopping her gut now. Chloe hurled into a corner, stomach acid burning her throat. Puking sucked. Wiping her mouth with the back of her hand, Chloe shook her friend. "Bree, girl, wake up," knowing she wouldn't. Chloe fished in Brianna's pocket for the slim wallet she carried. Shit, gone. The guy must have taken it. A sudden chirp made her shriek. Bree's phone buried under a pile of cabbage. The guy didn't get that. Gagging, Chloe grabbed the phone, took one last look at her friend, and climbed out of the container. Leave. Can't help her now. Chloe jogged to the car. Call the cops. Anonymously, though. No way was dumbass Brianna's bullshit bringing down trouble on her and her mom, Angela. Her mom was stressed out enough about medical bills. She didn't need any more worry in her life. They'd trace the call and find her. All the cops on TV could track you down if you used your phone. Probably on a burner phone, too. A sudden dog bark made her yell out loud. "Shut up! Don't make noise!" Christ, she had to get it together. Inside the car, she fumbled the key into the ignition. Drive it back to Bree's house. Walk home from there. Nobody would even know they'd been out together. Dumbass Brianna deserved to die. Selling drugs, mouthing off to a dealer. What was she thinking? But if that fucking scary dude killed Brianna, he could kill again. Chloe had to tell someone. She clicked the door's lock. Drove down the street with one last glimpse at the dumpster. Who could she contact? Chloe whimpered. Had to be someone who wouldn't make her tell the cops. Oh, that guy that saved her mom, the medicine that saved Angela's life. He was cool. Every time he met Chloe, he'd be super nice, talk to her like an adult, made sure she was okay. He told her and Angela to contact him if they ever needed help with anything. He was super smart, too, coming up with that new drug that healed Mom and didn't make her all sick. He'd know what to do. Call him tomorrow. Tonight, just get home, grab some dinner, if Angela had felt well enough to cook, and if not, open them both a can of soup, find a movie, zone out, sleep on it, and make a decision tomorrow. Chloe opened the window and turned on the stereo, but the music didn't drown out Bree's screams, and the wind on her face barely dried her tears. Chapter 1. Saturday, late morning, en route to Deacon, Missouri. This totally rocked. Lily fought to keep a goofy grin off her face. She was on the DART business jet back to work. Dylan next to her, ready to take on their first mission together as an official team. Nice way to travel, huh? She turned to Dylan, only partially successful hiding the goofy grin. Way better than a commercial plane. Dylan took her hand and squeezed. Is there a shower in the bathroom? I'm totally going to take one if there is. No shower, but there's plenty of space. Your knees won't hit the door when you sit on the toilet. And there's a lounge in the galley in the rear section, right? He swiveled to glance behind him. You hustled me into our seats so quick I didn't get a chance to look around. Because we were running late this morning. Because you weren't ready. Because you kept me up late last night. Dylan leaned over and whispered in her ear, I bet there's a couch in the lounge. Want to join the Mile High Club? His warm breath on her skin sent a delicious shiver down her spine and heat to her core. What makes you think I already don't belong? She whispered back. Dylan laughed, his low, sexy laugh, almost like a growl. Then we'll move on to the premium membership group. Bet you didn't even know about that. To get in, you have to. Are you both ready to go? Their pilot appeared in the cabin, looking way perkier than Lily ever looked in the morning, which was a good thing. Pilots should be awake and alert. How did anyone get their hair and makeup together at the crack of dawn? Dylan shifted away from her, but kept his grip on her hand. We're ready when you are. Buckle up and we'll take off. The tower is waiting. Lily dutifully fastened her seatbelt, missing Dylan's warmth next to her. They'd have to discuss this premium membership thing later. Dylan was making it up, she knew, but enjoyed his creative mind when it came to sex. She shoved a stick of gum in her mouth to keep her ears from popping during the ascent, and minutes later watched the ground disappear out the window. Hot damn, they were on their way. Lily settled into her seat. If she and Dylan succeeded with this mission, they could be permanent partners at Damage Avert and Rescue Team, the specialized FBI division that employed them both. She'd been with DART for 5 years, but Dylan was a newbie. The agency didn't normally take on former soldiers, so he'd be a first. He'd helped her on an assignment the previous year as a civilian consultant, and they'd completed the mission and got along well. Really well. So well, they'd rekindled a romance that had flared briefly over 2 years earlier and decided to explore it. Lily rubbed her arm. The ache from the fracture still throbbed occasionally. On that last assignment, she'd been wounded and, with Dylan's help, recovered. While she healed at her apartment in Atlanta, Dylan had moved into a unit down the hall from her. They'd spent the past months getting to know each other, and to her delight merged their lives together with fun and love. Dylan went through DART training, and because of his previous specialized military skills and his above-average intelligence, he quickly made it through the rigorous field agent instruction program. So now they had to prove partners in life could be partners at work. No problem. Of course they could. She and Dylan had great chemistry together, communicated well, and were both smart. This was the start of a wonderful new chapter in her life. Seatbelt light is off, Dylan said, unclicking his. I'm going to go check out the galley and see if they've got juice. You said there's an espresso machine on board. You want more coffee, right? He knew her well, knew the sludgy cup she'd gulped from the Quickie Mart wasn't enough. Yes, please. I think there's directions by the coffee maker. I'll figure it out. I'm going to go check out the big bathroom also. Be back soon. He gave her hand another squeeze before he left. He looked at the couch in the lounge, too, she knew. They'd only be in the air a little over an hour and a half, and with a pilot and co-pilot on board, they wouldn't have the opportunity to explore the premium membership, but Dylan would think about it. The goofy grin came back, but only for a moment. They had to be professional, pay attention, and keep their shit together, to not only prove themselves, but also to make DART look good. They'd brought in the bad guy on the last case they worked together, but they'd also stirred up trouble, the kind that put an agency like theirs under scrutiny. A lot hung on this mission. She undid her seatbelt and stretched. but it still totally rocked. They landed at the Deacon Regional Airport and hopped into the rental car that waited for them there. A short drive took them to their destination. Lily squinted at the sign on the building, Stomped Grapes Winery. Did customers find that name appealing? All she pictured was a large foot stepping on the fruit goo, squishing everywhere. A large, unwashed foot. Ooh. She shook her head. Not going to let that image ruin her love affair with wine. The winery sat at the top of a hill, and Lily could see for miles around. Bare trees dotted the landscape, and clouds covered the sky, shutting out the sun. Picturesque in other seasons, but today the grayness hung like cold, wet sheets on a clothesline. Lily shivered as the wind licked at her damaged shoulder, a painful reminder of what happened when you trusted the wrong partner. "Are you sure this place is open?" Dylan asked, glancing around the empty parking lot. "It's open. Guess no one wants to come to a small town in Missouri when it's ass-freezing cold." Lily wrapped her scarf tighter. "Shitballs, when does spring get here?" "You requested this mission," Dylan said, but smiled and brushed a thumb over her cheek. "Kind of a weenie job, isn't it?" His smile heated her, no matter what the temperature outside, and Lily allowed a moment of pleasure at his touch, then stepped away. They were at work, not on a date. While at work, Dylan was not her lover, but her work partner. The right partner this time. "I didn't request this mission. We were assigned to come here, and it's not a weenie job." It was, kind of. Miguel Estrada, Lily's boss at DART, gave them this assignment, and though a subject retrieval wasn't her ideal mission, after months of light-duty paper shuffling while she recovered from her injury, she'd take whatever got her back in the field. Bring a drug dealer operating from a winery to DART for questioning. "Is this a joke on the new kid?" Dylan asked. "Our subject is not necessarily a dealer. He's suspected of being involved in a drug sale issue. Come on, let's get inside." They stepped into warmth, and the smell of cinnamon and burning wood made Lily's shoulders drop a notch. Only a notch. Might be a weenie job, but they still had to do well. Lily crossed the large open room, Dylan behind her as a trainee should be. Both surveyed the space momentarily, then she stepped up to a long wooden counter at the front of the room while Dylan circled the area. Shelves all along the walls held bottles, presumably of wine, and large windows gave another view of the hilly countryside. A fire snapped and crackled in a stone fireplace. Wooden floors muffled their footsteps, and there was not a bell on the counter to ring. "Hello," she called out. "Anybody here?" A man came around the corner from the back, smiling, drying his hands on a towel. He stood behind the counter and took 2 glasses from a rack there. "Hello, and welcome to Stomped Grapes. Can I interest you in a wine tasting?" "Joel Wilson?" Lily asked. He matched the picture from the file she'd been given. Short, partially balding, wearing thick black glasses. "That's me." He tapped one of the glasses with his fingernail, making it chime. His sweatshirt had a picture of a bunch of grapes dancing with a wine glass. "Not a drug dealer. No way." "I'm Federal Agent Bloom, and this is Agent Hurst." She pulled her badge from her pocket, showed him, then tucked it away. "Is anyone else here?" "No," Wilson frowned. "Federal agents? You're FBI?" "We're with DART, a division of the FBI. We'd like to ask you a few questions and need you to come to the headquarters in Atlanta with us." "Questions about what?" "You worked for BioWeight years ago. There's been a serious situation with them, and we need to talk to you." "I'm not going to Atlanta, and I don't know anything about BioWeight anymore." "What kind of situation?" Sweat formed low on Lily's back, and she resisted the urge to remove her coat. She'd worn a long-sleeved thermal shirt under the DART uniform of black khaki pants, unisex polo work shirt, and boots. Too much for a well-heated indoor space. "Mr. Wilson, you signed a contract with a high-level, confidential government contractor, and maybe you didn't read the fine print, but you agreed to provide said employer with your services, if required, after your termination. BioWeight requires your services. Please come with us. We have a plane waiting to take you to our headquarters to speak with our specialist team. We'll have you home by this evening." Wilson folded his arms. Who the heck is DART anyway? "Damage Avert and Rescue Team. We need to leave now." "You expect me to go with a stranger who says she's with some agency I've never heard of?" "You've heard of the FBI, haven't you?" Dylan said, coming to a stand next to her. "Yeah, but anyone can buy a fake badge." Lily pulled her tablet from her field bag and tapped it. "Your name is Joel Wilson. You're single, widowed. You have 1 son, Torin, living in St. Conley County. You're a biochemist. You worked for BioWeight, then most recently Dracon. You bought this winery 2 years ago. You went to high school at Mercy High, then college at Stanford University. What, you're looking at my resume? Big deal. That doesn't prove anything. His gaze darted around the room. Shit, he better not run. Lily slipped her hand into her pocket and gripped her stun gun. Was she going to have to zap this guy? Most subjects DART agents took in were in danger and eager to be rescued. They didn't stand around and argue with her. She expected some reluctance from Wilson, but this was ridiculous.